So for this question, really all that you needed to do was figure out the answer, and you could have done it in many different ways. One thing that you hopefully can see, sort of an easy way to do it, rather than having to add this bracket and add this bracket and then subtract, is if you notice, 66 minus 55 is 11. 44 minus 33 is also 11. And then here, 11 minus 22 is actually negative 11. And I know that you don't know much about negative 11, but if you look at this, 11 minus an 11, these kind of make 0, and you're left with just 11. So that's just one quick strategy of solving this problem that doesn't involve stacking the numbers, adding them, and subtracting. It's kind of a quick mental math kind of strategy that you could be using. For the next question, you had to, so they show you the first 5, and then you basically just needed to figure out what the next ones are and come up with the first 10. So what we're doing is we're looking for a pattern. So the first row had 1 in it, the second row had 2 in it, the third row had 3 in it, the next row had 4, the next row had 5. So if we're adding 1 more each time, then what's going to happen? The next one will have 6, and then 7, and then 8, and then 9, and then 10. And the question was just how many dots are there in total? So again, you could just add all these numbers, but another neat thing you could see is 1 and 9 make 10, 2 and 8 make 10, 4 and 6 make 10, 3 and 7 make 10. So now we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 5. So again, just a quick way of adding these numbers without needing to stack and add. It doesn't mean stacking and adding is bad. It's just trying to come up with some quick mental math strategies to help you. So really all you needed to do was continue the pattern, figure out how many dots are in each row, and then add up each row, and you would get 55 in total. So this next question, so Sammy has $10 and gets $2 every Sunday. And then Tammy has $50 but spends $3 every Sunday. And it says, in how many weeks will they have the same amount? Well, let's just see. Here's Monday, there's Sammy, and here's Tammy. So let's go through. He's going to have 12, and then 14, and then 16. And so again, we can follow this pattern. She's going to lose money. And we follow this pattern. So we see we're not close yet, so let's keep going. And right there, we're going to see that we're the same. Now the question was, after how many weeks? And this is where a few of you went wrong. You've got to be careful. This is not week 1. Here's week 1, week 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is week 8. So some of you said 9 because you counted the numbers, but you have to be careful. This is where you started from. So it's actually 8 weeks later, not 9. Okay, so for this one, a lot of you were quite confused with this question. So the first thing that it does is it gives you kind of the measurements of each of the rectangles and the measurement of the total rectangle. So one of the things that you can do is sort of start to label. For example, the 1 by 4 is 1 by 4. The 2 by 4 is going to be 2 by 4. The 3 by 4 is going to be 3 by 4. And the 4 by 4 is going to be 4 by 4. Well, you're also going to see here, and I'll actually add the 1 there to make it easier for you, is that in total, we've got 5 this way, and we've got 8 this way. And it tells you that the rectangle is 5 by 8. So now what you have to do is find the number of square units in the gray part, in the shaded part. One thing that you can do is just find the area of the entire shape. So what is this entire 5 by 8 rectangle? Area of a rectangle is just base times height. So that'll be 5 times 8, or 40. Then what you could do is you could find the area of each of the triangles. A triangle has the formula of base times height divided by 2. So for example, this triangle here, this small triangle, has a base of 1 and a height of 4. That's going to give you an area of 2. The next triangle has a base of 2. See, that's 2 there. So that length there is 2. It'll be 2 by 4. And that'll be an area of 4. This next triangle has a base of 3 and a height of 4. And that'll be 6. And the last triangle, okay, has a base of 4 and a height of 4. And that'll be 8. When we add those together, we get 20. So the area of the triangles is 20. The area of the rectangle was 40. So to get the shaded part, you just do the area of the rectangle, take away the area of the triangle, and you will get 20 square units. So this next one might have been new to a lot of you. These types of questions are common in contests, and basically each of these letters represents a different digit. And digits are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And everywhere I see an A, that has the same value. So whatever value I put for A here will be the same value for A here. Because you were trying to get the greatest possible answer, you want to start with these two numbers. The way that you're going to get the biggest thing that you possibly can is if you make A9 and E8. So we're going to start by doing that. And then whatever we wrote here for A and here for E, we've got to repeat. So then you have to figure out, what do I do next? So the next thing is to focus on B and D. They need to be the next highest numbers. So you want to put them in order next, and you want to have them be 6 and 7. So we're going to put our 6 and 7. Whoops, my pen's there. Again, whatever you wrote for B and D, you've got to write for B and D. Then you're left with C. And again, now we're still trying to make the greatest thing possible. So what's the next number that's left that we haven't used? That would be 5. Then all we need to do is add these numbers. And that answer is the greatest sum that we can possibly make.